this guy has already broken Jamal's record. Hi there! Gilberto Mora is a midfielder for Liga MX team Club Tijuana. He also plays for the Mexico national team, and at just 16 years old helped them lift this year's CONCACAF Gold Cup, beating the USA 2-1 in the final. This trophy win makes him the youngest international player ever to win a senior tournament, breaking Lamine Yamal's record by 101 days. The Mexico national team wore this pretty awesome looking kit for the tournament, so of course I just had to make a custom Funko of Gilberto in this kit. So, let's get started. I will be using this Gary Cahill pop as the base. And, as usual, I need to remove the head. To do this, I just pop the pop into a pot of hot water for a few minutes. Now the head should pop right off. Yay! Right, I need to sand down these printed bits so they'll not be visible under the new paint layers. I use very fine wet sandpaper for this. The wet sandpaper keeps everything smooth and keeps me from breathing in this probably very toxic paint dust. That should be okay. But before I do any painting, I need to make a new neckline. I am using something called Milliput for this. I like using this putty as it sets hard after a few hours and it can be sanded down and carved into if needed. To shape the new neckline, I use some sculpting tools. Well, it's pretty much only this one that I use. As usual, I end up doing a few attempts before I get it right. Mostly it's because I always put far too much putty on to start with. It has set hard now, so I am sanding it down so that there won't be any visible edges. That feels nice and smooth now. With that sorted, it is
time to prime!
I am priming with Vallejo Grey Mecha Primer. You know, priming is so boring, but it has to be done, I suppose. The primer is nice and dry, and I've masked off all the skin areas with a combination of masking tape and liquid mask. Now I can spray on the black paint. The whole kit is black, so it should be pretty straightforward. This is the best bit, pulling off the liquid mask. Whoops, I missed some bits. I'm just going to touch them up with some primer. There. It's time to paint the skin. This Vallejo flesh tone is too pale, so I bought this set of model colour skin tones. For Gilberto, I'm using this one called Flat Flesh. The model colour range is very thick, so I will be thinning it down first. I've got down the first coat, which is quite a dry coat. This allows me to remove any bits of fluff in between coats. While that dries, I paint the rest of the skin by hand. I honestly could have sprayed the skin tone on first, but these bottles are so tiny and I didn't want to waste the paint by doing that. There is also some black parts that need to be touched up. Gilberto wears these rather colourful Adidas Elite Celestial Victory boots, which is good because that means I get to use fluorescent yellow and pink. The fluorescent paint that I'm using is from the Vallejo Mecha paint range. I would avoid the model colour versions though. They are not good. Not good at all. The main colour of the boot is this denim blue, so I'm just using this model colour in azure for this bit. It is looking so good! Now that is all sorted, I airbrush on the hair colour. For the shaved parts of the hair, I actually make use of this thing on my airbrush for once. It adjusts the amount of paint that comes out, and it works pretty nicely as long as you don't have tip dry. Whoops! I eventually fixed it, and now it is all dry, I can get the masking tape off. Oh, it came out pretty nice. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I guess I just always expect I'll mess something up at some point. Anywho, now I'm back at the spray booth and I'm spraying over a coat of Viejo Premium Satin Varnish. I need to add this to protect the paint from the decal solution, and it also makes everything look so nice. Right, about these decals. The Mexico shirt has this really cool design on it, and of course, I wanted to recreate that. Well, I spent ages making this design, but I don't think it looks very good at this small scale, so I'm not even going to use it. As usual, I created the decals in Affinity, and I use a ton of microset to help get the decals into the right place. It also helps the decal stick better. I use a brush to move the decals into place, as it is best not to handle them too much, otherwise they can get ruined pretty quickly. One of the coolest features of the Mexico Gold Cup kit is this cool motif, which appears on the cuffs and the socks. I made this decal from a photo of the kit. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit fiddly to apply though. Most sleeve cuffs are just one colour, so having it go around the arm contour is pretty straightforward. But I need to make sure the repeating design looks correct all the way around. The best way to do this, I think, is to cut the decal into smaller sections. Let's hope this works.
The next day.
Honestly guys, those sleeves took me a whole day. Now I can finally move on to the name and number decals. Most teams have a unique font for their shirt names and numbers, which, while looking cool, is also a right pain in the butt to find the fonts for. I ended up having to use screenshots of the font to create the decals. Oh, I should probably mention the decal paper I use. It is Hayes Waterslide decal paper for inkjet printers. You can also get a laser printer version of it, and the paper comes in clear or white. I use the white decal paper for all of these decals with a black background, and also for the boot decals. Surprisingly enough, the Gold Cup match ball has a gold design, and as I am an insufferable perfectionist, I had to create decals for that as well. It was a bit hard working out the pattern, as I could not find a mini ball to purchase in the UK, so I just had to go by the photos online. The decals are almost done. I just need to give him some eyes and eyebrows. I recreated the eyebrows by drawing over a photo of Gilberto in Affinity Photo. The decals look a bit too shiny, so I give them a quick spray of the satin varnish. And that is that done. Oh, as usual, I forgot to cut the neck post down a bit when I removed the head. The head obviously won't go back on the way it is. So out comes the craft knife. That should do the trick. Yay! He is finally finished! I really enjoyed creating this pop. I'm really interested in Mexican culture and I would love to visit Mexico someday. I love the Spanish language and have actually been trying to learn to speak it through various apps and YouTube channels. Anyway, back to the figure. I am really happy with how he's turned out. Well, except for the fact that the black paint shows up every little speck of dust. Oh well, that can be resolved by giving him a box. That's better. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to put your laces through that subscribe button for more videos. Now here's the final result.